ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Alibi Pod. It's episode 33.
Episode 33.
And it's been like 2 weeks again.
2 weeks.
So some things have happened. Some interesting things.
The stock market went like this and then like this.
Yeah, but now it's not really going up anymore.
But now it's like...
it's doing the regular stuff and again.
It's back to normal.
Yeah, back to normal. No more massive gains,
But
I guess.
Did you buy the dip?
I did. So for me, we all remember it was like a Wednesday that was like the biggest day in the history of the market or something.
It was wild work.
Biggest one day
shot
increase.
back up last week, yeah.
And that was great. But my financial advisor, my trusty financial advisor, called me actually the day before, and he said, "I'm just saying there's some green in the market. Now might be the time to go ahead and buy." And I said, "You know what? I think I will. This might be the end of the dip, and if it's not, I'll buy again later. And I'm gonna buy again later anyway." But I transferred over some money the next day. He called me again and he said, "Sir, it's up 10%.
Let's go.
I said, "Thank you, sir." So I did buy the dip right on time. Again, not very much, but
Brilliantly executed, though.
thank you. Not that 10% is nothing when you don't invest very much.
Up a solid tithe.
It's fine. Yeah, it's up a tithe. It's good though. Yeah, stock market's fun. We just had I had a little webinar. I was on the webinar. It was about investing and stuff, but it wasn't a whole lot of new things because I've kind of been familiar with what the strategy is. Our financial advisor we have the same guy. He kind of told us he likes to yap, so he'll tell us all about.
This guy likes to yap.
So,
He doesn't have a podcast to yap on.
Yeah, so he just talks to us, so we know the strategy, we know the deal with it. Like, we aren't shocked, we're not surprised because he's well prepared us, It's great, good stuff.
I have a little story from this week.
Okay, you go ahead.
All right. So I had a video shoot.
Yeah.
All right, traveled to this video shoot. By the way, I took my old beater car, which is just always on the edge of life and death. Very scary to drive in. I'm always like, hope I make it there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's besides the point. I stopped at an Asian restaurant before the shoot.
We love an Asian restaurant.
And this is going to be an add-on to a conversation we had last time on the pod where I asked you ginger salad or miso soup at the Asian restaurant. Mm-hmm. I got a bento box. This was a lunch thing, right? So, and if you don't know what a bento box is, it's just like a little collection of, a couple rangoons, maybe a half a roll of California roll or something like that, and then a protein of choice, some rice, maybe some dumplings or gyoza.
Actually. That sounds awesome.
You've never had a bento box?
No.
Oh, it's so good, man.
I don't have like a lot of lunch in a Asian restaurant area.
That's true. I mean, they have a spot in...
How much is a bento box? Is it like a lunch price?
It was $12.
$12 is great, especially for a little bit of sushi, a couple rangoons.
You get kind of the menagerie. You get a little bit of everything, and you get soup and salad as well.
That sounds wonderful.
And I just got water, so I got out of there for less than $15.
That sounds like a great deal for a very good lunch.
Yes, there are more expensive bento boxes at more expensive...
Where did you go? What restaurant was this?
Asian Moon.
In Gardner?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shoot. I'm gonna have to go over there. I mean, their sushi isn't the best in the world, but...
California roll's not the best in the world anyway. If you're just getting a little California roll to go with things.
It's not a sushi of choice at all. It's just a California roll.
That's right. Well, different bento boxes have different sushis sometimes. It's normally a very simple sushi, though, because you're getting a half roll to go with all this other stuff. Now, they do have a whole sushi bar, but as you mentioned already, they're not the best sushi in the world.
I mean, you're not going to find the best sushi in the world in the middle of Kansas anyway.
No.
About as far from water as you can get on these United States. Anyway, story.
So, I got the bento box.
Right.
And I thought that I had to choose soup or salad.
Yep.
But I misunderstood.
Oh, yeah?
You get soup and salad.
How fun.
But I thought it was soup or salad.
Oh dear.
And I thought so I said, I just want salad, no soup. So they brought me 2 salads.
That's funny. That's great though. I like it. I like the service.
I know. I
That's
was
pretty
like,
legit.
"All right." And I ate them both. They were very good.
They were, yeah. See, I've gotten a little bit of a taste for salad. I'm still not a huge huge fan of that particular salad.
The ginger salad.
The ginger salad is not quite my tempo, you know. Not quite my
It's good
speed.
though. It's good though.
Yeah, well, it's good. Yeah. Anyway, but a good Caesar salad before a steak dinner, before a good Italian dinner.
You like it as a starter.
A little starter of a Caesar salad. Boy, howdy, especially like a good one. You know,
A good Caesar
like
salad.
we went to Favaz's in St. Louis, which we did our St. Louis recap.
Right, we mentioned Favazos. We talked about it.
The salad was great. They had a house salad and they had a Caesar salad, which was also a house-made dressing. And I got the Caesar salad because I like me a Caesar salad more than just about any other kind of salad. It was huge. This was a very big Caesar salad.
The secret at fancy restaurants is they kind of want you to fill up on salad.
Yeah, the quality was definitely there though. It was a delicious Caesar salad and a very big one, and I enjoyed it. Didn't eat the whole thing because obviously I wanted to eat some Italian food. But either way, I also like that I can eat that salad and kind of prep and then, be able to save half my meal for leftovers tomorrow.
Right.
It makes that expensive price tag a little more worth it,
Actually, you're the one playing them.
That's right, because if I'm spending $50 on this dinner, it's a little easier if it's,
I'm of the firm
25 for
belief
dinner,
that
25 for lunch tomorrow.
no matter how good the salad ingredients are,
Yeah.
the quality of your salad experience is mostly on your waiter or your waitress.
Sure.
Because they have to get that salad, get the dressing on it, and get it out to you in like 30 seconds. Like, so fast.
So it's still crispy?
So it's not soggy. Yeah, that dressing
I-
on that lettuce, it gets soggy so fast.
That's a big part of it is you want a good tossed, you want it fresh, you want it crisp, you want that cold, juicy feel almost. It's almost in a fruity way. Not in like a fruity way, but like in a way that's like fruit. I don't know.
Okay, so Olive Garden salad. It's a solid salad. The vast difference between a good salad at Olive Garden and a bad salad at Olive Garden is how fast you get it.
I thought you were gonna say something about the cheese.
No, the cheese is
They
the
do be putting
cheese.
cheese. Cheese is cheese. It's fine.
I like Parmesan. An Italian restaurant that's not very good can make up for everything by adding lots of Parmesan.
I mean, yeah, because that's basically what you were supposed to do in the first place.
And that's the story of Olive Garden.
That's like that's how it works. I also have a bit of a story.
Okay.
This would have been last week. When was it? Sunday? No, Saturday. It was Saturday. So this past Saturday was like 3 or 4 days ago. Or maybe it was last week, the week before. Doesn't matter. I went to a dance performance.
A dance performance?
I am not like a huge dance guy. Like that's not my, I like music, I like films, I like like fashion, stuff like that. Not the biggest dance guy in the world. However, I had some thoughts. I consider myself, as like my Instagram bio, admirer and critic of all things excellent, interesting, and or artistic. So
anything.
Anything. Basically, I have thoughts on anything. It's basically I have thoughts on everything, and I have opinions on everything.
Hence why we have a podcast no one asked for.
That's right. So we can share these thoughts as someone with the mind of a critic. It was a senior performance tied with like a spring recital kind of vibe for a dance school. I think it's like a smaller indie dance school. It's local here. So this is like underground dance scene, if you will. Now, I have my thoughts about modern dance. Not the biggest fan of like modern dance specifically. Keep in mind, my girlfriend went to school for a dance. She's
a dancer?
A dancer.
A modern dancer.
She does do modern, among many other things. But I went with an open mind. I'm like, this is dance, this is art. You know how much we love indie underground art. And
Of all kinds, yes.
all kinds. You know, we like an indie film, we like underground art, whatever. There's a lot of different kinds of art. And I think there's something to glean, usually.
Something to be appreciated.
In any and all mediums.
Yes.
Any and all mediums. So I did enjoy this dance performance. There were several different pieces. One of them was a senior showcase where the senior did a dance. It was a ballet dance. I enjoyed it. I like ballet as a medium, as an art form.
You prefer ballet to modern?
I prefer ballet to modern. Modern seems a little bit far out for me. You know, like it's just a bit abstract. It's kind of like you would think of when you say modern art, like on a canvas. Like it's super weird.
The bad rep that modern art has.
Yes, basically. It's the same concept for dance as it is for like paint and canvas. It's just a little bit out there, you know?
Sure.
Ballet is a little more elegant and pointed, you know?
Refined.
It's more refined, thank you, yes. So you can kind of, the average viewer can kind of still appreciate a little bit more. And as far as modern art, this was kind of a thought for me as I was watching some of the dances. Some of these more modern pieces are not necessarily going to appeal so well to just the average on the street consumer as compared to somebody who is in the field or versed in all of that. You know, it's the same way people like a basic pop song, but maybe some sort of strange alternative prog song or jazzy kind of song it doesn't tickle the ears the same way. But if you're in the field, you're like, oh my god, he had the 7 and the 9 there, and this time signature, and it's just so interesting. And so I think ideally any kind of art blends the two, and there's appeal to the outside world, there's a little bit of flash, there's something that just inherently beautiful about it as it is, and there's also technical details in there that people don't necessarily get if they're not in the field or immersed in the culture and understand it. So I think there's a little bit of that in there for me, reviewing this dance performance and these several different pieces that I saw where I didn't necessarily, maybe if I had been a dancer, I would have appreciated a little bit more. But I thought there was also some pieces that, like, if you think about it, kind of just as art and as an enjoyer of art, then you can kind of still find the elements of art, the give and take of art, the rhythms of art in these dance pieces, just like you can find it in music or a painting or a story of a book or a movie or something like that. And I really appreciated that.
I appreciate the thought that you're getting at there, where it's like art has... We've reached a place as a society, as a culture, as artists, where art can be appreciated by other artists and still matter. If we think about, like, you know, I don't know, back when, you know, painters used to be, like, kept on retainer by kings or churches, you kind of had to make
funded by
art
nobility
that appealed to this subset of culture.
Yeah.
And it's like just the high class, the bourgeoisie, the aristocracy, whatever it may be. Or you were the people's artist and you made art that appealed to like another subclass that's maybe bigger, like the serfdom, the regular people, the normies, whatever the Roman word for that is.
For the Roman word? I don't know what we're talking about.
Dang it, I can't. It's going to bother me, though.
I'm not sure what we're talking about. Where?
Plebeians. Okay, so everyone, right?
Yeah. Fickle
That
masses.
was a total bunny trail.
We
Bottom
lost the
line
energy
is,
there, but carry on.
though, now we've reached a place where you can create art niche, right? Niche art for
Super
specific subsets of culture, people, etc. And it's got a lot of value to it because you can make more niche art, right? Art that's not appealing to everyone. And I think a name that came to my mind when you were talking about that in music is John Bellion, right?
Sure.
He's very niche, but he mixes it really well, is what you were saying.
With
also,
some
where it's
mainstream
like you
appeal.
have the appeal for the artist, right? And John Bellion is like all your favorite artists' favorite artists.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Or Pharrell, right, is another one that for a lot of years was always your favorite artist's favorite artist. But they also have that wide appeal. But as art has become more valued by culture, there's more artists, and the artists appreciate, we'll call it higher art.
Sure, yeah.
Right? And so by that subset of people really appreciating it, it gets kind of out more.
Yeah, I think there's definitely an aspect of that and sort of almost an accessibility in a sense there. But I think there's also kind of it gets a bit of validity. It's not the word I'm looking for, but it gets a little bit of street cred from these artists that like it, because something that may not appeal to the average person looks up to the person who does appreciate that art form.
They're lending credibility to
Right,
it.
so they're lending credibility. Get some credibility. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
So if you have this super niche, alternative, modern, progressive art of any genre, any medium, and it may not appeal to the masses or the plebeians, but it does appeal to these people that everybody look up to, then in a sense it kind of gets passed down, and people who don't appreciate it still consume it and still like it, which comes up, it's a completely different conversation there, and it's kind of the Kendrick Lamar effect.
Sure.
In a sense,
I think conversely, you could have the Christopher Nolan effect.
Yeah, when high
Right.
art becomes accessible to just everybody, it's an interesting dichotomy.
And it's like, how well do they appreciate it, right? The people that don't understand it, do they really appreciate it? And film is kind of a drawing together of a lot of different art forms: music, acting, dance, sometimes the interaction of the different elements, as well as the cinematography of it. And Christopher Nolan is a director that's been really, really appreciated and praised to the point that he's your favorite. All these film buffs, he's their favorite director, but also all these total normies who don't know anything about filmmaking. They're like, "Oh, Christopher Nolan, I love him so much."
It's because Christopher Nolan has this. He really nails that thing that like John Bellion or Pharrell do, where you can mix the two together. Because there's like something about it. Like sometimes you can just see the elements and why it's appealing.
Right. But as it gets discussed in public forum by people who understand it, those film buffs, for example, who have their YouTube channels and yap about it.
Sure.
Right. All the normal people are like, "Oh yeah, the music really does do that. Oh yeah, I do like how the camera movement was."
They noticed it, but
unique."
they didn't realize they noticed it.
Right, until someone explained to them. And that's kind of just the general education of everyone to come. Like, we're all in on the secret now. Mm-hmm. We really like it.
It's one of the pros, I guess, of art becoming so generally accessible. I would consider that a benefit. But overall, I enjoyed my visit to the dance performance. It was it's a little bit different than the art I generally consume, but there were some pieces I really enjoyed. There were some thought-provoking pieces. A little bit, I got to appreciate a medium that I don't normally spend a lot of time with. So,
and I think also this conversation has given a little bit of a different angle to your opinion on the democratization of art, which I recall in earlier episodes you were not so pleased about.
It's possible. I still think that there's a problem with the democratization of art, where these people who lend credibility to these higher arts are too integral in a sense, because
they're gatekeepers. They can't be bypassed.
In a sense, yeah, because if you are this kind of high art and you don't get some sort of cosign or somebody who decides it's cool, you're just going to be clowned still because these, like my previous complaints with the democratization of art is everybody's a critic, you know? And these idiots who don't really understand don't have the person who does understand to tell them, hey, this is good. So they're just like, oh, look at this idiot when it's actually good. I don't know if that makes sense, but made sense in my head. Speaking of art and John Bellion and such, I wanted to talk about perfect pop songs.
Okay. Are there in fact any?
There are perfect pop songs. Do you have any guesses? What do you think I'm talking about? What perfect pop songs do you think there are?
I just questioned their existence.
Their existence. All right. So I have a theory about certain songs that just click too well. Like everything, like the production is produced for mass appeal, but that's a lot of songs. It doesn't always make a hit. You know, it's written in such a way that it's very singable, it's very vibey, but that doesn't always produce a hit. You know, it's a combination of a moment and an artist and a song that just works for some reason.
Okay, give us some examples.
Shake It Off by Taylor Swift.
Okay. All right.
Most of the world either hates or loves Taylor Swift. Either you think she's the greatest songwriter ever to live, or you think she sucks, you know? But for some reason, Shake It Off is just a perfect pop song. Except for that stupid little bridge thing.
Have you done the research?
Terrible.
Do you know if she wrote that song?
I don't know. I did not look it up.
Keep talking, I'll look it up.
But that song, just like the production of it, something about it is just vibey and danceable. The lyrics work. Like, it's fun. It's somewhat relatable. It's catchy. It's singable. And it feels a certain way. It feels clean and poppy. And it just, everything about it works together to make it, like, in a sense, the perfect pop song. And it is one of the biggest songs of all time. It's absolutely huge.
Huge song, yeah.
Massive song. Did you find out who wrote it?
Yeah, she co-wrote it.
She co-wrote it.
3 or 4 writers.
Usually there are on these big songs.
Yeah.
Big records have several. But another one...
But it is sometimes surprising when the artist actually co-wrote the song. A lot of these big pop songs are written by...
they're always going to have a writer's credit.
I'm...
They changed a word. Give them a credit.
All right.
So they can say they wrote it. Anyway, another one. And again, there's a lot of massive hit songs, and then there's another level where you're like, wow, this is just it, you know? As It Was by Harry Styles.
That's been like a definitive song of the
That's
past
kind of...
decade.
It's just a perfect pop song. Like, there's nothing to change. Like, the drums are pleasing to the ear. The way the production is just feels smooth. His vocal performance, that's another huge aspect of these perfect pop songs. Like, the vocal performance is right. It's right for the song.
And I noticed about these perfect pop songs, as we're calling them, they always sit in a very similar sonic space, right? They're short and sweet, right?
Yeah.
We're talking 3-minute songs tops.
Yeah.
We're talking
Not wasting
immediate
a lot of
radio
time.
play.
Of course.
And they fit in with old radio songs.
Sure.
Right? They sound like each other. They're by good-looking white singers.
But also...
And... they are clean, right?
Yeah.
They don't mess around with messy topics. It's not a cultural commentary. There's no bad language words. They just keep it very...
It's not niche art.
Yeah, anyone could listen and like it.
Art, but also just very aesthetically pleasing. Tonally.
Yeah.
And it just scratches that itch for
Do we have
billions
more?
of people. Those were the two big ones that I had thought of. I'm sure we could think of more, but the thing is, there's like
Blinding Lights by The Weeknd.
Blinding Lights. I could see it. Yeah, that could be there.
It's the most streamed song of all time on Spotify.
I think that can go there.
A rare, clean Weeknd song. Almost the same drum track as It Was.
Yeah. Actually, no. It is. I don't think so.
It's the same basic beat.
I mean, sure, in a sense.
Different BPM, different hi-hats, but if you listen to it, it's basically the same.
It's similar, I guess. But, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm sure there's an Ed Sheeran song somewhere that's kind of up there. I don't know. The thing is, there's a lot of really good pop songs that still don't quite break the threshold of like, wow, this is it. You know,
This is just the epitome of a pop
and
song.
there's just a couple of songs I was listening to where I was like, wow, this really is the perfect pop song. And you know, every time it's a massive hit.
Maybe like a Sunflower.
Post Malone.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think that could go up there.
Yeah, that was a wild song.
It's
Yeah.
just huge.
Speaking of Post Malone,
What's up with Post Malone?
Post Malone was one of the headliners at Coachella, which
Heard about
happened
that.
last weekend.
Yeah.
Coachella, you know, hats
It's
off
a
to
mess.
Coachella. Hats off to Coachella, though, for being a cultural icon. And just something that happens every year and continues to be Coachella.
Yeah.
Now, one interesting side note, we'll come back to Posty at Coachella. This was the highest percentage ever for a music festival where for tickets to have been bought on a payment plan.
Financing tickets is crazy.
Almost 70% of Coachella tickets this year were bought on a 12-month payment
I
plan.
saw that statistic. That's kind of crazy.
Wild. And that's
paying
up from
for Coachella
last
for the
year being
rest.
like 12% or something like that.
Wow.
And I think it's because the age demographic going to Coachella is our age and a little bit older, but not much younger.
Yeah.
And not that much older, right? So nobody that really has money is going to Coachella, right?
Yeah.
And obviously the people are the VIP passes. It's like Landon Barker and like Jaden Smith and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? Family money people. But the vast majority of the huge crowd at Coachella is people about our age who work a regular job and really can't afford a $3,000 to $5,000 weekend trip.
Yeah, that's huge. It's very expensive.
And so they bought it on a payment plan. So yeah, people are going to be in debt to Coachella. But anyway, Post Malone was one of the headlining show artists at Coachella. Had a big headliner show, played like an hour and a half set or something wild like that. And I saw the clips on TikTok, and he, you know, started as a rap artist,
Yeah.
switched to more melodic rap, then to kind of almost pop music,
basically pop.
then to like alt pop.
Sure.
Then he had one record that was almost like rock pop, and then it got very countrified very quick.
Very country, very fast. Yes.
And he's the biggest he's ever been
he's huge.
as a country artist. He's everywhere. I mean, headlining Coachella. But he had big songs from all of those eras, and I mean big songs, right? And he performed all of his greatest hits at Coachella, countrified.
But in a country style, yeah.
And this has gone over to
Mixed reviews.
very mixed reviews.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of don't mind the country rock star.
I don't mind country rock music. Also, Post Malone as
I meant
a country...
rock star the song in his country
Oh,
version.
yeah.
Like,
No,
it
was
kinda-
about-
with the drums and stuff,
it's
it kinda
country rock,
slaps,
though.
you
He's
know?
doing country rock in his show. It's country, but with heavy electric guitar, right? The steel guitar is like shredding. Like, it has more overdrive than a steel guitar
Yeah.
normally does.
But
Right.
I would be a little sad if some of my favorite songs ended up very country.
Countrified, yeah. It's definitely weird. And he's about to go on his first stadium tour.
Really, that's his first one.
Because he hasn't... I mean, he's gotten immeasurably larger between 2019 and now.
Well, yeah, that's 6 years.
Yeah, but he hasn't done a major tour since before COVID.
I didn't know that, but yeah, I'm not surprised. It's gonna be a huge tour. That could be like some Eras level touring right there. That could be huge.
Maybe.
Probably not quite Eras, but
No, but it'll be big money and big show. But a lot of fans right now are nervous that he's gonna be doing like these country versions of the songs at the tour.
yeah. That would be sad.
Now, it's interesting that you bring up Eras. What if he did an Eras type of show? He's like,
See,
these
that-
are the
that would be
rap
the best
Posty, and
thing
then he
for
goes
him.
and changes his outfit, and it's like Rockstar Posty.
That would be
goes and changes
great.
his
He
outfit.
should. I think he should. I mean, when you are an artist who has evolved with the scene and changed with the times and continued to stay relevant over a long period of time, just by your music being so immensely popular, everyone loves it.
And
Post Malone doesn't get in controversies. He's not famous for dating a Kardashian.
Right.
He doesn't throw chairs off of rooftop bars. He doesn't go do movies. He doesn't get arrested. Post Malone makes a hit song every couple years
and keeps a low profile.
The largest smash hit, billions and billions of views and streams song every couple of years.
You know? Every once in a while, he just drops something so huge.
The list is massive. There's so many of them. Every project.
It's really nice that he's just non-problematic, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't do all that stuff. And also, he's genuinely talented.
Oh, yeah, he's a great singer.
He's a good singer.
But also, his art has evolved. Like, it's all of his hits, they don't sound the same. It's not
also,
like
as
a
culture
dozen songs.
Yeah.
And
as culture has developed and, like, we've come to this, I don't know, maybe it's just him aging up with me or people my age, but like it's not about drinking and drugs and stuff with him anymore. Like he had a bad rep for that back in the day.
Sure.
And it's not like that anymore.
Maybe, but anyway, the point was, as you evolve throughout the time, your sound changes. It's going to change. It has to change. You can't do the same thing for 10 years and still be popular because the taste evolves. Now, Post Malone, fortunately, can do any genre. His voice is really great. He's super talented. He can make a hit song however he wants to, and he's proved that. He can genre switch super well, and right now, country music is huge. Country music is the thing. Morgan Wallen is the poppin' sound, and Post Malone hopped on that, dropped an album, and he's massive with it, you know? So,
possibly bigger than Morgan Wallen.
Oh, definitely bigger than Morgan Wallen. He's definitely bigger than Morgan Wallen. But Morgan Wallen is like the thing, you know?
Yeah.
And he's part of the reason Posty succeeded in country. But the point is, once you're at this point and you've evolved so much, like your fans, you can't give everybody what they want if you do one thing at your show. Because you've got these fans from all these different eras of your career.
Right, subgenre.
That have been, some of them have been here for 10 years, some of them like your new stuff. You got it. You can't just do country music for an hour and a half and please everybody who came for beer bongs and Bentleys, you know?
Right.
So the era's vibe tour kind of just might have to be the blueprint for people who have been doing it for a long time.
Which eventually may be all major artists, right? If they keep going for long enough, they're going to have that kind of a thing.
Yeah, anyone who lasts is going to have something like that because, again, like I said, you have to evolve.
It's so different for someone like Post Malone, though, compared to, like, Green Day, right? Green Day also had a Coachella set, and they've made lots of records with, I mean, varying sounds, I guess. I'm not super familiar
They haven't
with them,
been at the forefront of culture forever.
No, they have not. But,
Because
I mean, they're still super known. But it's also because they were a face of, like, kind of, we'll call it pop punk. Because it wasn't punk, but it was very poppy. A long time ago. And then now, as that sound is coming back, they're like, we're back. We're still relevant.
You're like, aha. No, you're not. But anyway. Yeah.
Their music is, though. People listen to their music.
Yeah, people do listen to them.
And also,
people have always listened to them.
One of the bands that's been super viral on TikTok, they do a lot of Green Day covers, and they sound just like Green Day. And everyone's like, we're back, baby.
Welcome back, Green Day. Close enough. But yeah. We got
to wrap it up.
We're out of
time. I
time.
had more things to talk about, but we got to wrap it up.
We do. We can talk later.
We can talk next week. Or 2 weeks.
Not next
whenever
week.
it is. Next time we have this podcast, we already have some stuff in the chamber to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
tune in next time.
Yeah, we'll see you. Bye.